Previously on Reroll Expectations one-shot, The Man with No Shadow. Billy, Tilly, and Willie are a band of bards traveling with their manager Phil on their way to visit Phil's old friend and famous adventurer Darius at his winery. However, it seemed that Darius had gone away suddenly and left the huge mansion to the boys under two conditions. They must stay inside until daylight, and they cannot let him inside. Seemed simple enough until a strange man with a white stag sent murder hornets down the chimney.
Welcome back to the lovely one-shot, once again, called The Man Who Casts No Shadow. I believe, Jeff, you put credit for that last episode. And we are picking up where we left off, with the group having sort of teased around the idea of what this individual at the front of their new home is. The introduction of this first sort of terror of the night with the hornets and the wasps, and a lovely deception check by our local wizard to confuse the gentleman outside. And we'll pick up with, once again, the hornets sort of going out from the house into the large tree on the side of the property that you can see. Does anyone want to do anything currently? Check around, anything like that? Most of the windows are still intact. The buzzing is starting to die down.
Brothers, are you okay? Does anyone need some healing?
I could use a spot of healing.
I'm at,
Did you go from emo to British, Will?
This is my goth voice.
It is the goth.
I have Cure Wounds, and I'm missing 11 hit points, so I'll just cast Cure Wounds on myself.
Okay.
I'm only missing 5 hit points, so I'm okay, I think.
All right, Casey, go ahead and roll that healing for me. While that is going on, Tilly, could you please do me a favor and roll me a wisdom check?
I got 7 points. That ain't bad.
Oh, me. Hold on a second. I'm not very smart, so 2?
Checks out.
Yeah, fair. At the back of your sort of mind, almost as if it's reverberating from sort of the base of your skull, you very gently will hear, "Well, that was quite interesting. I wonder how else you will all fare for the rest of the evening." Well, all's fun and games. And cuts off.
Yeah, it was interesting. Why you sending stings at me?
No response.
I said that out loud, by the way.
Are you okay there, bud? You having a rough night?
You didn't hear that?
Oh, Tilly talks to himself all the time. Don't worry about it.
He said there's going to be more coming.
I'm gonna get my foot up his ass in a second. All right, boys, what should we do? What do you guys want to do here?
You want to try
Lay
and leave?
down and die.
When are our fans gonna show up?
This place sucks.
How are you bored? We've been here for only a couple hours, and there's no fan. There'll be no fans here. Okay.
Well, what are we supposed to do then?
We have to make it until tomorrow morning, and the place is ours.
So, should we just all go to bed then?
Feel like it's not going to work out, buddy.
Fuck this. I'm leaving.
Tilly, can you please roll me a perception check if you were going to try and leave?
Well, I haven't walked towards the door yet.
Oh, I was saying there you actually can leave if you want to try, but you'd have to figure out where you're going to go, so perception. So you all are downstairs right now, currently in sort of the living room by the fireplace and the grate crushing machine.
Yeah, I'm gonna go look out the window at least.
Absolutely. Looking out the window, the one sort of leading out of the door towards the courtyard?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So looking out the window towards the courtyard, you do sort of see the area is still relatively brightly lit. Once again, there's still that sort of almost iridescent silver, I don't know if that's the right word, stag tied to the post of the fountain. And the gentleman who is at the door is now standing over the fountain with what looks like a large blade of some sort. It's curved inwards rather than outwards, which you would kind of. I'm not sure if your character would have any recollection of what this would be or something like that. If you have any experience with weaponry like that, you would know that this is the equivalent of like a karambit, and is cutting his hand and dripping it into the pond. He does not seem to notice you looking out the window.
Fellas, this guy out there is cutting his hand or something.
Well, that doesn't seem very smart.
Phil, go get this fucking weirdo out of here. I'm
not going outside.
This
Listen,
is your
guys,
job.
We were told to stay inside.
It's your job to protect us.
Not to go
How
outside
about one
and
of the
die.
halflings? Can we send one of the servants out there?
Yeah, where's the servants?
They're all gone, bud. They left hours ago.
As far as you all saw, Pyrus did leave. You all assume that the halflings cleaned up the kitchen, as the kitchen is clean now and may have left, but you are welcome to look around and double check.
Can I just like clap my hands twice, like to see if they just come to my my noise, like they're summoned?
You are more than welcome to. So you go, yep, you clap away in the mannerism of what would be very similar to, you know, a sort of impatient master trying to call in whatever servants they may have in the house. There's no response. However, could you roll me a wisdom check, please?
If I have to, yeah. That's a fat 3.
Bang.
So, in a similar manner to what happened with Tilly, in the back of your head, sort of right at the base of your skull, you hear almost a vibration as it echoes in your head, the words of very similar to the original voice that you heard at the door. So you appear to be the smart one. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's how we're working with here. That's what we're doing.
Well, I do enjoy discussing with more intelligent creatures. I won't pretend with you that my intentions are pure, but I do need in that house, and I would hate to do it out of spite or any harm towards you all. My baggage is with Darius, so if you let me in, I'll take what I need and be on my way. No harm will come to any of you. Billy and Willie, do you two want to be doing anything?
I'm just over on the couch picking at my ukulele.
Okay. Can you roll me a perception check then, Billy?
I rolled a 23.
Okay. You definitely hear the howling and the cawing of birds that you heard at the beginning of the evening when the sort of sun was setting. It's getting louder. Not as if it's coming into the house, but it's almost as if some kind of perimeter is closing.
So it sounds like a lot of birds are circling the house almost.
Oh no, guys, the zone's closing in Fortnite. I'm going to respond to him in my head. I'm just gonna flat out say it. What? Darius is staying in here. What do you need with him?
Darius took something from me. I simply...
Yeah, he kind of does that.
Yes, well, he's not exactly a trustworthy individual.
No shit.
And believe me, his recompense and his lies are no reason for you all to give up your lives. Why would you get yourselves, and your others even, killed for a man that's keeping secrets from you? I simply want what's mine. I'll be on my way, and I won't even touch Darius. You all are free to go once I have what rightfully belongs to me.
And that is...
My business, my fair fellow.
What if you tell me what it is, and then I'll get it for you?
You do not have the strength to carry what I need, and it will require a certain magical finesse you lack.
That's some big words there, buddy.
He is insulting you. He is insulting you.
Really now? He is insulting
you. Maybe not intentionally, but it came off as very condescending.
Listen here, champ. I've been doing this gig a lot longer than you have, all right?
I highly doubt that.
We're free to cut each other open and count the rings on the inside, but as far as I know, you are not getting in this house. Now, if you want your thing, I need you to tell me what it is, and we can work on it together, but you are not crossing the threshold into this house.
Fair enough. So if I tell you what I need, you will simply give it to me?
We'll work on it. We'll get there.
And what do you require as payment?
Depends on what we're doing here, bud. If I need to go harvest some orphan souls, I'm not about it. But like, if you want some coffee, I got you.
It's something that belongs to me already, so you would be returning stolen goods, if that's any morally gray area for you.
Everything's pretty much gray to me at this point.
Well, fair enough. We have
Phil's
much in
colorblind.
common. I want a certain puzzle locked in the house. He took the answer from me, and I'd like to have it back.
What does it look like? Is it like a box, or like one of those globes with a metal ball in it? They gotta like roll around and like shift it and all that.
A stone sphere. Larger than, I would say, a good wall. That is the puzzle that belongs to me.
And you just want the puzzle.
I'd like the puzzle and the answer to it. That's all I want.
What happens if we solve the puzzle?
If you solve the puzzle, then you'll open the door, I suppose. But I wouldn't suggest that. There are things that can happen there that I'm sure Darius would be less than forewarning about, such as traps. If you want, you can roll insight on that.
Yeah, I want to roll insight on that.
Be
'Cause
my
I'm
guest.
very confused. That is a horrible roll. I rolled a 10, and that's up to +7.
We're killing it tonight, boys.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a 23. You think that he's insinuating that Darius maybe did something to the puzzle to prevent people from touching it.
Casts Mage Hand.
Just swat your hand away when you get close to it.
But you do believe that he is being relatively honest with you.
Well, let me talk to the boys, and I'll look around for your puzzle, Chief.
Please take your time. If it is any help, there should also be a painting that belongs to me as well.
What's on the painting? There's a lot of paintings in here. I'll tell you that right now.
A scene of war. I'm sure you'll be able to find it. Darius would have kept it close.
Yeah, that's the painting that we saw, or I saw in the second room. Obviously,
You would
the same
recognize
white
that as
stag. Yeah.
Correct.
What's that deer for?
Oh, well, that is my companion. Him and I have been along many journeys together.
Okay. I'm going to relay this to the guys in my real voice, not in my mental voice, I guess.
Yeah.
And sort of explain to them we're trying to. Well, they don't know the other half of the story. They just hear me talking out loud.
Yeah.
That we're trying to find a puzzle and whatever the answer to the puzzle is, but I'm not going to mention
You're talking about that silly little circle thing on the wall downstairs. What a drag. You haven't seen it yet?
Downstairs?
There's some weird looking circular thing, but we were more interested in the wine.
Yeah, maybe Phil should go downstairs and check it out, right, brothers?
Not surprised.
There were symbols and runes down there. Nothing didn't seem that interesting to me either.
I guess I'll go down and check it out.
Going downstairs, looking back on our little sheets, you'll see that the fifth image down, in the wine casket area, there is a large circular sort of almost stone locking mechanism with the same sort of pivot points and the individual engraved pins of the 5 symbols you'd see there.
And so I know, not Phil, but I know that these things come out, right? Because Will did that. Will pulled one out.
Yes.
I'm going to fiddle with it and attempt to pull out the stag.
Okay. Pulling it around, you do feel it slide out relatively easily. Once again, still having that sort of smooth but still rough and then completely sanded down feel on each of the pins and the holes they're inserted into. Pulls out relatively easily. It's pretty heavy, as it is made of stone. It's probably a good 10-15 kilograms.
Can I do an Arcana check to see if I have recognized these symbols before or something similar to this?
Actually, can you roll me history?
Got him.
History, but I want to do Arcana.
You may roll Arcana. If you're looking for something arcane, you may roll Arcana.
Well, I rolled a 19, and I feel like because history is probably the better option than Arcana, then I'm going to go with that 25.
But you did say you wanted Arcana.
Well, fine, I'll do the Arcana.
It's fine, I'll let you roll history. You would, in sort of your understanding of most things arcane, this is not arcane in nature, it's mechanical in nature. But seeing here, you do recognize some of the symbolism. It is very specifically a battle depiction from the city of Laurentia, back probably 600-700 years ago, in which one of the great commanders of Laurentia, Gwyn, fell in battle.
And that's important to me. How?
Because that it coincides with the painting you saw.
I'm going to pull out all the pins in this circle.
Okay. Pulling out all of them, you can see now that all of the individual sockets are open and nothing really happens.
And there's one more pin in the center, right? That's the thing I guess it's missing a pin.
So down that little sort of
Nub.
dangling part there.
Little nubbin, little uvula.
Yeah, a little nubbin. There is a single pin in the center of that. Like pinhole, not pin, sorry.
So one of the regular pins would not fit in that hole.
It's the same size as the other pinholes.
Put the stag pin in the middle. Put the stag pin in the middle.
I'm going to go back upstairs.
Okay.
Put the one in the middle? The stag pin in the middle? Yeah, I guess I'll try that.
I'll put
then.
my pin in the middle.
Okay. Sliding the stag pin in the middle, you do hear a very soft as it locks into place.
I'm gonna have Franklin round the boys and try to direct them downstairs.
Can I make a voice for Franklin?
I mean, he's a skull, but yeah, go ahead. You can voice Franklin.
You all will hear Franklin
Oh my God,
whiz
it
up the stairs
speaks?
and, "Hey, Phil wants you downstairs!" And whiz back downstairs.
I didn't picture him speaking full words, but all right, let's go with that.
He's a smart boy.
He is a smart boy.
He's the best boy.
It's boring down there. I don't want to go.
Fine.
We should
I'm gonna go downstairs.
we should probably help Phil.
All right. Heading downstairs, you do see Phil downstairs messing around with the pins. The stag pin now in the center of the circle. Phil, you'll hear in your head, "Oh, it looks like you found it. Lovely."
He can see through my eyes? I don't like that. I'm going to say that. I'm going to say that out loud too. I'm like, you can see through my eyes right now. I'm not a fan of that.
Not so much see through your eyes, but
Quick, Tilly, moon him.
minor understanding of emotional and mental state.
I'm gonna pull my pants down and fucking put my little goat ass right in front of Phil's face.
A little bit of goatsy, huh?
Yeah.
Like that
Phil-
throwback.
Phil, there is no hairy goat ass in your face, and the voice is not saying anything.
I'm probably used to it at this point.
Is that aroused?
Good voiceover.
sorry. But yeah, no, the voice is not saying anything, not reacting to the ass, literally.
What you got going on down here, Phil? I'm bored. What are we doing?
Yeah, this sucks.
So there's a painting upstairs, and this guy outside is saying that it's important. It's something with him. but that same stag that's outside is inside this painting. And I move the pins around, and I put the stag in the center where the painting is. It locked into place. So I'm thinking that with this painting upstairs as the answer to this puzzle. You guys following me?
Is this jerk off outside the one that sent the wasps on us?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna respond to that by storming upstairs and finding the painting.
Okay, heading upstairs. As you do head upstairs, you hear speaking outside of the door. But you do get to upstairs.
What door?
The front door. As in out in the courtyard, you hear speaking.
Okay. So no, I'm gonna go upstairs and I'm gonna look for this painting. So I'm guessing it's in that main room and it's considered the mural.
Yep, looking up into the sort of the main room of Darius's room, you will see this once again, this large mural of a giant battle scene where angels are coming down from the heavens while undead are rising from the earth, minotaurs are charging in from the left, and humans are attacking from the right. And in the middle is a single stag looking right at you, his eyes following you as you walk around the room.
Okay, so how big is it?
It encompasses the entirety of this wall, easily about 25 feet by 15 feet tall.
Oh, okay. So it's something I can't throw off the balcony.
No,
You can't, however, tear it out of the frame it's in.
Hey, I have a +9 to sleight of hand. I was gonna tear it out of the frame it's in.
you could certainly attempt. You actually notice that while it does encompass most of this wall, it's actually not attached to the wall. It is more almost leaning against it as if it was taken from somewhere.
Wait, tell me the size again.
About 25 feet by 15 feet.
How did it fit in the room?
The answer is magic. It's Dungeons and Dragons. Come on.
I had to challenge him on that one.
No, it's fine. They actually explained it if you want to know the actual reason. It was rolled up and the frame was built in the room. Pulling it sort of forward a little bit, you do notice there are latches holding the frame together as it's almost split down the center. So you could attempt to basically pull it off, like pull the frame open and roll up the painting if you'd like.
I don't know, boys. What do you think I'd do? I'm gonna do something reckless here, and I don't think anybody's stopping me. Yeah, I'm fed up with this guy outside. I'm about to throw his painting off the balcony into the river.
Yeah, I'm not with you, so
You're alone up there.
I'm gonna attempt to at least start by rolling this painting up.
I feel like that's probably a bad idea. But
Okay. Pulling open the frame, it's relatively easy. Like I said, it's just large brass latches holding it together. You are welcome to roll me dexterity to see how well you're going to roll it up without damaging the painting. It definitely...
I'm gonna just roll.
I feel like he doesn't care if it's damaged or not. If he's gonna throw it into a river.
If you don't care how damaged it is, you don't need to roll. Okay, go ahead. But just as soon as you touch this paper, you can tell this is very old. It's probably a good couple centuries old.
Okay, so I rolled 17 on dex.
You're pretty gentle with this. You can kind of tell the second you feel it. Oh, this is really, really old. And it's a little harder to roll up like a traditional sort of newer painting with like a watercolor. But it rolls up relatively well. Almost as soon as it gets into a full roll, it almost locks in and doesn't unfurl itself.
Okay, so I'm gonna walk over to the balcony door. I'm gonna open the door. And I'm going to put this bad boy, my right arm, over my shoulder. I'm going to give her a good old running huck into the river.
Okay. This river is relatively big, so it's definitely not hard to aim for. Go ahead and roll me that strength.
That's the shot put throw.
Natural 20 plus 1. Just soars into the water.
Goes straight into the river. I mean, you could not get a more perfect shot. And as it goes into the river, landing perfectly in that water, it starts to go downstream towards the courtyard. It's not wet. It's not soaking water.
As I finish that, I'm just going to storm around and close the door, and I'm going to audibly out loud say, "There's your damn painting. Now leave us alone." And I'm going to go back downstairs.
Okay, heading back. Are you going to go back downstairs to the bottom floor or the cellar?
I'm going to go back into the cellar. And then as I go back into the cellar, I'm going to go, "All right, boys, I took care of the painting."
What did you do, brother?
Where's the painting? What'd you do to it?
I gave it to our friend.
Oh, I'm sure he'll like that.
Yeah, I'm hoping he'll leave us alone now. He wanted his damn painting so bad. Isn't that what he wanted, Phil? I gave him his painting.
I mean, he didn't say he wanted it. He just said it was his, and I'm not really inclined to care either way. But I think I figured out this puzzle, guys. Um, I'm going.
I was going to let you know as you do head downstairs, all of you simultaneously will hear, "Oh, lovely. He kept it in great condition."
I'm going to put the. You said that the minotaurs are coming from the right and the humans are coming from the left, correct? So opposite of how the pin started.
Phil's pretty smart, right?
Yeah, I'd like to think
Yeah.
so. With an 18 intelligence.
Phil will be able to remember the entire sort of scenario of what it is.
Yeah,
It was
I'm gonna
angels.
put the
Yep.
pins in that spot to mock up this horrible rendering of the painting.
Okay. Putting the pins in and sort of centering them, and as well as you can tell the pins have been relatively well worn, but putting them in parts that sort of fit the best, locking in place, that soft clicking is formed as you mix in the angels from the heavens you remember, and then the undead from the earth, with the stag still in the center, the humans coming in from the left, and the minotaurs coming in from the right. You form this little symbol, which for our audio listeners, is a plus symbol with angels, undead, humans, and minotaurs with a stag in the center. And a soft creak opens as the stone begins to collapse in on itself. In a period of about 5 minutes, the door will be fully open, as you all are hearing this crumbling sound, louder than thunder around you.
I'm gonna go over and get a glass of wine.
Oh, neat.
Okay. It's been about an hour, so your drink counter has reset. You're fine. You're a little bit tipsy, but you're okay.
Okay, well I'm gonna just start entertaining this while while the room falls in on us.
I guess I'm going to communicate to the guy outside mentally and just say, well, you said that there's a door here. Well, it's open, buddy.
This reminds me of that one concert we did in Volheim, Willie and Billy.
Then I suggest you let me in, and our deal will be complete. I only need what is behind the door.
We'll get to that. I'm a curious boy. I want to find out for myself.
Don't touch the stones. And that is, he says it very playfully.
I'm going to say, I got some stones for you to touch, buddy.
What does that mean?
Oh, I can do much better.
You mean a telepathic hand job?
No, as in he can do better than you. As the door starts to crumble and these last sort of etches of stone are almost like crushing in on each other like a singularity, who's going to be in front of the door?
I guess I'll be in front.
I'm over by the second wine casket on the left.
Oh, I'll be somewhere by the wine caskets wherever they were.
Brooding.
Okay. Tilly, Tilly, if you're in front of the door as the sort of magical aura around it is closing off, allowing you to see into the room, I need you to roll me a dexterity saving throw.
That's a 16.
Okay. So you're going to take half damage. As a large wooden spear is dropped down from the ceiling at an angle, almost as if it was pushed out by magic, barely grazing you right along the chest. You're going to take 6 points of non-magical piercing damage if you have any resistances. And you can tell that this spear is, every inch of it is covered in holy symbols. Symbols to Pelor, Bast, I almost said Ukatoa. Critical roll. No, but just holy symbols up the wazoo.
What'd you do, Willie? I mean, Tilly.
Which brother are you?
Oh, this is neat in here, boys. All right, I'm going in.
Going into the room, as you head in, there is a large sort of dais type thing of this sort of spinning, almost magically floating stone platform. 5 individual stone coffins lay on top, no symbols inscribed, each one holding down what looks like a giant stone locking mechanism. And in the far back of the room, as you can see it with each pass between the coffins on the dais, there is the body of Darius that all of you would recognize. His head nearly decapitated, and a large stone spear slung into his chest with a small wooden spike next to his heart.
Oh, Dougie, I knew you done fucked up.
How wonderful. I love seeing decapitated bodies.
Ha ha! That's a good one, Billy. Willie.
I was being serious.
Oh.
I stand by the door and look in.
Anyone who is going into the room can roll me an investigation check for any of the low light details.
Oh, I'm looking to loot for sure.
Okay.
I'm gonna loot.
Roll me investigation then, please.
17.
Okay. You would definitely notice, while there isn't much in the room, over in the corner there is a large pile of bones, most likely from multiple large creatures that you can investigate more if you'd like. Additionally, you would notice that along the room are rusted out weapons, things going back several eras.
I'm gonna walk in and delicately walk around this holy spear, and investigate Darius's body further.
Okay.
If I'm allowed to do so.
Please do so. I would love that.
I'm gonna. That's a fat 16.
Looking at the back wall, as soon as you get up to it, you immediately recognize this is Darius. He's lying back against the back wall, almost a peaceful expression on his face. And being closer now in the darkness, you can see that his hands are grasped around the wooden stake, almost as if he had plunged it into his own heart. Although he is clearly very dead, his body is relatively preserved, more so than you would think so when Pyrrhus spoke about him being gone for the last week. You would assume that decomposition would have already started. Looking around sort of his body, there seems to be a lack of blood. The only blood that has sort of dried is the one that is directly running out of the stake wound.
Oh, Dougie, what'd you get yourself into this time?
Roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw? What if I don't want to? Well,
Well,
that's a 15.
Okay. You'll hear in your head, you're going to remove the stake now, and then you're going to come open the door. And you feel very compelled to do so.
I guess I don't have a choice here, do I?
If you have something that would specifically do it, or you can try to fight it, which will ensue other checks. You just feel like you can definitely tell, being magic based, you can tell he's trying to control
I
you.
mean, yeah, I absolutely want to fight this. I'm not going to just bend over for this weirdo.
Please do so. I'm going to need a wisdom check then.
That's going to be a 13.
Okay. I will say that because you're pretty aware of this kind of stuff, you were able to sort of like, wait, what am I doing with my life? What am I doing? I was about to say, what am I doing with my life? What am I?
I don't know, man.
What am I doing? As you kind of look
Dramatic
down.
war there, Aiden. Relax.
Yeah, you kind of look down and your hand was reaching for that stake.
Phil, what are you doing?
Phil, take the stake out.
Why are you gonna desecrate your friend's corpse like that?
But you stop yourself. Like, what am I doing? Phil, take it out.
No, I'm not doing it.
Open the door, Phil.
Do we see do we see a change in his demeanor at all?
As the voice gets lower in your head, Phil, and this answers your question, Tony, the voice is now echoing around the entire chamber.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one, Philly.
Take the stake out, Phil.
Return the slab.
Return the slab or suffer my curse.
I immediately run to the kitchen and look for steak.
Okay, going up into the kitchen. I'll get back to the cellar group in a minute. Going up to the kitchen, there is a meat drawer. Would you like to open it?
Yeah. Yep.
Pulling it open, it's strangely cold. Ice is actually forming on the edges of the drawer as you pull it out, almost as if it's been magically enchanted. And there are a good 10, 15 steaks in there.
All right, I grab a steak and I scream. I pulled it out.
You get a 5-inch porterhouse. Nice. Yeah. You'll hear in your head, You're an idiot. But down back in the cellar crew, the voice is still reverberating, almost deathly monotone. Take the stake out. Pull it out. Release him. And all three of you need to make wisdom saving throws.
Big 7.
That was not a good roll.
Ouch. What did you get?
After bonuses, I got a 6.
Oh no.
I got a nat 20.
Oh, Willie, you are just looking around, thinking of like listening to this voice, and like, what is going on? And turning to the other two, and the veins on the sides of their heads are popping as you can see they're mentally straining against these. You two don't feel any kind of compelling, but it almost feels like in video games where they're like demonstrating mind control with like the room starts kind of waving and it feels like pressure on your head. It feels like that. It is hurting.
I hear voices in my head already, so this doesn't really faze me.
I'm heading back downstairs and I'm like, brothers, I got the stake out. And I hold up this fucking stake above my head before going into the holy room.
When you pass into the threshold, wisdom saving throw.
Shit. Not that it matters because I got 2 7s, so a 7.
So once again, running in, you feel the pressure as soon as you enter the room. It's like the atmosphere is denser around you. Take the stake out, Phil. Or you, Willie. Or you, Billy. Or you, Tilly. Take the stake out, and I'll be on my way.
I took the stake out.
I like your funny words, Magic Man.
You can't tell me what to do.
The voice is gonna die down. The pressure in the room is still there, and Tilly, in your mind, you're gonna hear, Tilly, I'll give you all the things to smash you want if you take that wooden stake out of my friend there.
We could choose to fail it, right?
Oh, right. Allies can choose to fail. You guys can choose what you would like to do.
I trust my brother a lot, so
Yeah,
I will
same.
fail.
I don't. I have a different plan. I want to like hammer fist the stake deeper into Darius's chest.
Okay. You take your back of your heel and boom, stomp it clean into Darius's chest, almost coming out the other end into the dirt wall. Nothing changes. But you three, as you guys are heading upstairs, you do hear sort of that slamming, and the barking and the speaking out in the courtyard is much louder.
Can I do? I don't know if this is going to be a history check or a nature check, but I want to know how much would I know about vampires?
You had the vampire book,
Oh
which you read a little bit about. Actually,
No,
you
I
never
read
opened
the
it. You
demon
read
book. I like
book.
demons more, but I know the book
Demon.
is there.
So I would say history.
That's a 13.
You would know there's a lot of ways to kill a vampire straight out, especially if they're a turned one. Considering that typically in this sort of setting, vampires are less of a natural phenomenon as they are sort of a bloodline type deal. People who are sort of indoctrinated into vampire bloodlines become part of that bloodline, like siblings almost. But you know a little bit, but not as much as like you know about common knowledge amount.
Okay, so my question is, in popular fantasy, vampires cannot enter houses unless invited. Can I assume this is the same in this universe?
You can assume that is common knowledge.
Okay. I'm going to relay this to the boys that he is 100% a vampire, and the reason he can't get inside is because we did not invite him, and we cannot let this guy in. But on the plus side,
Man, I was so blind. That makes total sense.
Obviously. I thought that was clear to everyone from the beginning that he was a vampire.
I don't know. I think he's a douchebag. I don't want
I'm
him
a
in
fucking idiot,
anyways.
apparently.
The one shot is called A Man Who Casts No Shadow.
Shut up, all right? Phil's gone on in years, okay? But
you do relay that to them as you head upstairs. As you do leave the sort of large dais room with the coffins and Darius's corpse in there, there seems to be almost like a magical shield that will come up, creating a new doorway that sticking your hand through, you can walk through normally. Basically, it's sort of like I don't want to like say like a force field, but like almost like a sheen of magic. You can see it rippling like the surface of water, and sticking your hand through. It's kind of like Stargate, it goes through normally. But yeah, you all are upstairs now, and that barking and the speaking out in the courtyard is getting louder.
Well, brothers, should we play? And I'm going to start doing some triplets on my drum.
I need some minor chords. This night is getting weird.
Yeah, I lay down a thick bass line.
As you all are playing your instruments and pacing and thinking, about 5 minutes go by, and you're hearing weird noises. Things like howling, but it almost seems more a mixture of feline and canine howling. The cawing of ravens that typically wouldn't be in this area, things like that. And what seems to be small whispering happening in the courtyard.
I want to go walk up to the window and see if the D-bag's still out there.
Looking out the window, in the middle of the courtyard is now a large object covered by some kind of leather tarp. Looking behind it, you see someone's hands deftly moving, untying knots, things like that, and a few pairs of feet underneath the cart.
Ballista, mounted and loaded. That's what I thought it was. It's a siege weapon.
Can I read the vampire book that I saw earlier?
Yes. Reading the vampire book out, there is one passage in particular that is a large list section that is sort of highlighted in this sort of dark blue, you can tell probably berry-stained ink from Darius. And the passage reads, "A vampire is an undead humanoid who feeds on the blood of the living. Vampires are created when a humanoid survives a bite from another vampire. The longer someone has been in this form, the greater their innate powers. Additional information," and it goes into a list format. "Cannot enter buildings without being invited. Vulnerable to wooden stakes and silver-based weapons. Repelled by garlic. Repelled by holy symbols. Burned by holy water. Does not appear on reflective surfaces. Some can retract their fangs while others cannot. Can transform into different animals and is killed by sunlight."
Okay, so nothing I didn't already know, but cool, thanks for that. I was hoping for something more along the lines of like, hey, there are some spooky like stone coffins in my basement.
Sadly, no.
What time is it?
You can tell it's pretty early on in the evening. It's probably just now getting to midnight. It's been about 3 hours since the sun set.
Well, fellas, it seems like they're going to be howling all night. What would you say if I made a nice little shelter for us for the night where we can sleep peacefully and comfortably?
Hey, everybody. If you look out front, it seems like our little buddy brought some friends.
Hey, Willie, can you roll me perception? Because you seem pretty watching for everything, stuff like that.
A 9.
You normally are pretty asleep by now. Normally you're traveling a lot, so you sleep early in the evening to get up right at dawn. You don't feel tired.
I am the night.
I am the night. Where is she?
Let her go!
Where's Rachel? And suddenly there's a goblin next to you. "There's 50 hobbits started from us. They stored the freshness."
I slap him.
Hey, Tilly, what were you saying about this magical shelter? I'm thinking about having a nap, lad.
I agree. And then I'm just tired of waiting, so I'm going to cast Tiny Hut. So, for those that don't know, the Tiny Hut is a 10-foot radius immobile dome of force springs into existence around and above me and remain stationary for the duration, which is 8 hours. The spell ends if I leave its area. 9 creatures of medium size or smaller can fit inside the dome with you. The spell fails if its area includes a larger creature or more than 9 creatures. Creatures and objects within the dome, when you cast the spell, can move through it freely. All other creatures and objects are barred from passing through it. Spells and other magical effects can't extend through the dome or be cast through it. The atmosphere inside the space is comfortable and dry regardless of the weather outside. Until the spell ends, I can command the interior to become dimly lit or dark. The dome
I
is
picture
opaque
gazebo.
from
I
the
don't know why, I just
outside
picture a big
of
gazebo.
any color I choose, but is
Okay.
transparent from the inside.
So as you do cast this spell, it almost blasts the couches away from you as you are in the center of the room. The couches are now kind of tipped over, and this large hut, in any form you want it to look like, is now in the center of the room, just barely missing the ceiling by a few inches.
Can I push the couch in front of the front door? Hey, Willie, you want to come help me move this couch in front of the door?
Yes, you can. Go ahead and roll that strength.
16. I rolled a 17 by myself.
Yep. I would say you two would actually be working together. You would probably get both couches up there if you'd like.
I want to go to the kitchen and look for some garlic.
Going in, hanging up with the dried herbs and the dried spices, there is a few garlic cloves. Well, heads of garlic.
I'm going to grab them and I want to affix them around the frame of the door. It's Christmas.
What are you doing, Phil? What is this?
He's a vampire. Vampires don't like garlic. Simple math.
All right, well, I'm going in my hut.
Yeah, I'm gonna go take a nap with him.
Getting in the hut, you said it was translucent from the inside, right? Yep. Looking out, it does look sort of like a wavy, translucent form of the room you're in, and everything seems normal. The talking, however, is getting louder.
Phil has got to know what is up with these creepy stone coffins downstairs. He cannot rest.
Yeah, we're gonna yell it to Phil. Keep watch all night, bud. We're taking a nap. Feel free to come in the hut if you'd like, though.
If you want to go downstairs, Phil, you are more than welcome. Are you three going to go to bed in the hut? Okay. You all are asleep in the hut. It's very
It's a
quiet.
2-hour
It's quite comfy,
masturbation
too.
session.
Is that a late activity?
Listen, I don't know about you, but it's not really masturbation until the first layer of skin comes off.
Oh,
God.
Oh.
Oh, we just lost like
Jeff.
yeah, we just lost like a lot of listeners just now. Guaranteed. That record we broke last month, boys. We're
Why
going
did
back.
you say
We're
skin
backsliding
removal?
from here.
So I'm gonna go downstairs and I want to investigate those stone coffins a little more thoroughly.
Looking down at the coffins, you can kind of try and move them or anything like that. They are unnaturally heavy, though. What exactly are you looking for?
Are there any symbols or shapes? Like a little plaque that tells you what this thing is and who's inside of it?
Completely bare.
There's clearly a defined lid to it, correct?
Yes, there is a very defined lid.
And I know the guy outside said not to touch them. Or he just said stones, didn't he? He didn't specify the stone coffins. And it's just these stone coffins floating above this like floating dais. I guess I'm gonna try to talk to the guy outside and go, so what's in the coffins?
Things that belong to me and that I require for some work.
Are these your kids? Are they dead kids in here?
There are not dead children in the coffins.
Are they
They
kid-sized
are-
coffins?
Say again?
Are they kid-sized coffins?
They are not kid-sized coffins. These ones are easily 7 feet long.
Oh, they're big boy coffins. Okay.
They're fucking chonky.
And what happens if I touch the stones?
You're more than welcome to try.
That's not what I asked. I asked you to tell what happens, not to give me some sort of condescending answer to my question.
Open the door, and I'll show you. No harm. I've already promised no harm will come to you.
You're still not answering my question. You can be condescending all you want, Chief. But if you don't give me the answers I want, I'm just gonna fuck your whole day up. I've been on this planet for a long time.
So have I.
So you do want to tell me what's gonna happen if I touch these stones?
If you attempt to open them, given you're strong enough to bypass it, and you can tell he just says it very strangely, then you'll find what I made and what is mine. And given to what you do to that, well, they'll probably get out anyway.
All right, so clearly your friends are in these coffins. That's what I'm picking up from this, right? You made some more friends. They're in here. Doug tried to stop you, something like that.
I don't know who Doug is, but...
You know Doug, all right, Darius. It was his old touring name.
All right. Yes, if you really must know, my family is in there.
So really, all the cards are in my hand, because I can kill your entire family right here and now.
Well, not technically.
Not technically, he says.
Yes, because I do have one card up my sleeve.
Really now? And
You have activated my trap card.
And what, pray tell, would this card be?
Well, you see, I believe it begins with a B. And you're going to hear the loudest smash you have ever heard from upstairs. All
It's
three of you
bees!
also hear this. Willie, would you be awake?
I feel like I'm a light sleeper. So
Okay. You see the door hit the hut and go bouncing off of it and land upside down with a ballista bolt through it.
Oh my god, he took my idea.
No, you guessed correctly.
No,
You
I
did,
didn't.
motherfucker. It says on here, and I quote,
No way.
the tarp is pulled off to reveal a full-size ballista pointed directly at the front door. Screw you.
Nice, because I saw the thingy, and the first thing I thought was ballista mounted and loaded. I called it. That's so great.